One of the first games I ever played on the internet is a simple online card game called Solitaire, where all you have to do is stack the cards in order with the fewest possible moves. I'm sure many people know it, and it does seem pretty harmless. There was a time I used to play it a lot. Any opportunity, any free time, on any device. I soon became an expert, spending more time each day on this game. It kept me busy and provided me an opportunity for distraction. Then one day, I remember this very clearly. I was rounding up a winning game of solitaire when I heard God's voice soft in my heart. Dupe, I don't like you playing this game. I was surprised that my little game would matter to God at all. I gave it some thought. I understood that was a caution for me to stop. So I whispered back to God, Lord, I've heard you. I won't play it again. I said that and I meant it. But you know what? That was the beginning of trouble. The next day, I was in the car and I picked up my phone and I heard this game calling to me. Play me, play me, play me. I did. I was halfway through the game when I realized that I shouldn't have. I finished that game and then I said, just one more time. This repeated itself over and over, and I found myself going through the flow of playing this game at every opportunity, even though I knew by now that God wasn't happy with it. That's when I realized I was addicted. I wanted to stop, but I just didn't. I thought it was a harmless game, but the hold it had on me wasn't harmless. Now I had to ask God to help me. How could this even be happening? I was fighting a craving. It wasn't easy, but eventually I stopped. Online games, computer games, video games, games on your mobile phone. They come in different types and varieties. Some are calm, some are violent. They occupy your time and your mind. They stay with you, and even when you close your eyes, you see the game being played on the screen of your inner eyelids. Almost everybody I know thinks that these games are harmless, but I had my suspicion after God spoke to me, and I took time to observe. Online or video games can become an addiction very quickly once you start to play them. They are designed to be addictive. The creators of the games are business people, and their addiction is how they make their money. The games are never ending, and all you sometimes want to do with your whole life is get to the next level. How do you know you're addicted? It's when it's the first thing you think of when you have a spare moment. You are told by everyone around you to stop or to slow down, but you just don't care. You would rather play and keep on playing than eat, study, or chat with family. When the voice of the game keeps on saying, play me, play me, play me. When you can go on for hours and hours, trust me, that's addiction. Why doesn't God like it? Most online video games, they add no value to your life, and they are therefore a waste of your time. Time is one of the most productive gifts God has given us. What you make of life depends a lot on what you do with your time. There may be a few exceptions, to be honest, like games that are academic. There's Scrabble, it teaches you new words. Chess, it teaches strategic thinking, and maybe a couple of others. But the main problem with these games, and even social media, is that they compete with the time you can spend with God, praying, reading your Bible, studying. It competes with the time you should be spending with real human beings and developing social skills, and the time you can spend doing other things that add value to your life. Can't just picture God waiting every day for you to complete your legitimate daily assignments like school, office, homework, eating, taking care of your kids. And when he's thinking, she's through now, we can spend some time together, the next thing you do is lie on your bed, fish out your phone, play a game, and then you fall asleep. I wonder how God feels about this. Addiction in any form is bad. And to realize how big a problem these really are, do you know that today there are now game addiction rehab centers to help those who need to stop with the game addiction and cannot do so by themselves. I'm sure you have heard of extreme cases of kids being hospitalized from exhaustion and dehydration from playing online games. Finally, a word to parents. Children are finding it more difficult to separate a virtual life from their real lives. Some of these games, they take your kids into a virtual world you cannot even begin to understand. In that world, they live alternate lives. They build houses, get jobs, and even get married. With some, they have to contend with demons. They fight creatures and dark battles. They take on alternate personalities. Most of the video games and other games children play, they mess up their minds. Any wonder that sometimes these children find studying a bore, or they suddenly become rude or violent? Please don't turn a blind eye to the effect that these games have on them. So in summary, you have spare time, build a family, learn a new language, spend time with a loved one, study for a degree, read the Bible, memorize Psalms, pray. All these will add value to your life. God is a jealous God. He noticed that those games were dividing my attention away from Him. That's why He had to speak. And I know He feels the same way about you too. Please deal with those addictions and get them out of your life.